So these conventional and modern practices in this particular topic of the old way and the new way, simply you have to remember some principles of both practices, conventional and modern, and direct question can come up that differentiate between the principles of conventional and modern practices, or second question can come up like that: write down the principles of conventional software engineering, write down the principles of modern software engineering. That's it. I don't think any other question can become from this particular topic. So, what are those principles? I will tell you. I have mentioned some of the principles over here. Um, Not all I have written, because according to your syllabus in your book, if you will go through it very deeply, there are 30 principles. 30, 30 principles of conventional software engineering and 10 principles of modern software engineering. So okay, some of them you should know for sure, so that we will discuss. I will just go through them one by one, and I will not take much time in this particular topic. So, this principles of conventional software engineering, first one is make quality. So, quality, it should be quantified in terms of resources, and resources can be a human resource, tools, techniques, every kind of resources involved. And mechanism should be put in a place to motivate the achievement. Achievement in the way you have to continuously inspire the team members so that they they remain on the consistent base for the development of the software. High quality software is possible. Sometimes, not sometimes, in real scenario, it happens generally that because of certain things, and in real life, it also happens that five people are working in a team. In between, some member resigned or some new member joined. Then, because of those things, sometimes these things becomes reason for delay in the software delivery, or incompletion of the project, or misunderstanding between the team, and that can create chaos. But among all these things, along with all these things that can happen in real life, with the organizations, with the teams, still high quality software is possible. And to improve the quality of the product, we need to involve the customer uh, in a consistent way, continuous manner. Time to time, you have to ask them. You have to select the prototyping, you have to simplify the design, you have to conduct the inspections, and hire the best. Combination of all these things in the end can provide you a high quality software. Okay. Give products to customer early. So that means no matter how hard you try to learn users need during the requirement phase, in the initial phase, the most efficient way to determine the real requirements is to give user a product and let them play with it, so that you will get to know what they need actually. Determine the problem before writing the requirements. So here, whenever a problem is raised, most engineers provide a solution. They directly jump onto the solution. So before we try to solve a problem, be sure to explore all the alternatives available, and don't be blinded by the understandable solution. That is, just give, yes, this one solution you can see in front of your eyes, that yes, you can do this, but because of that you have not analyzed another possibilities that can be provide you efficient solution than the first. So that is only the principles, means principles of conventional, principles of modern practices, means these are some rules and regulations that you should follow. Okay? That depends how the organization is running inside, and what things are they following. That also depends on those things. But these are some principles that should be there. Next one, evaluate design alternatives. So after the requirements are being taken, we must examine variety of architectures, algorithms, templates, which is suitable to the project. Use appropriate process model. For every project, there are so many prototypes available, can be available. So select the best one, which is exactly suitable to the project. That is the meaning of this. Minimize intellectual distance. So minimize intellectual distance means we have to design the structure of the software which is as close as real to the real world structure. It should not be in a fantasized way. Put techniques before tools. Here, the meaning of this line is put techniques before tools means an undisciplined software engineer with a tool can become really dangerous, and it can lead to a very low quality product also. So, in spite of just putting any one person with the tools, you have to check the capabilities, you have to check the skills of the people, and accordingly, you have to manage it. Okay. So these are some initial principles. Some more are there. That just I told you, now there are 30 principles. There are a lot. So some of the points from them, whichever you are feeling comfortable, please remember them. Just get it right before you make it faster. So in spite in the rush of delivering the product, you should first work on the product efficiently in each and every phase of the development of the software so that your delivery of the software will become automatically fast. Okay? So if you are working right onto something, you don't have to bother about the result. Then you just have to go with the consistent pace, and finally you will have good results. Inspect the code. So here examine the detailed design and coding in a but much better way to find out the defects. Good management is really necessary and they play crucial part. That's why it is being said for the organization good management is more important than good technology. If the management is not supportive, if management is not flexible with the employees, then problem starts from starting itself. Because if management will force you to do some things, if management is like they're putting pressure of things onto you, then obviously it is not a healthy environment to work with. Then you will start feeling, hey, no, it is not a good place to work. So that's why it is being said that good management is better than good technology. Sometimes it happens in some organizations and it is in real life for sure it can happen. You are very soon going to join some organization, very soon to become an engineer. So be ready for such kind of challenging situations. Make up your mind for those kind of situations that anything can happen because an organization is combination of several employees which can be from separate parts, different places, and this kind of scenario can for sure happen that management is not that supportive and you will not get all things that you require, so you have to manage accordingly. Even if you are too good with the skills, even if you are too good with the technology, latest technology, so this can happen. Okay, next one, people are key to success. So people are key to success. That is bit obvious that the engineers, personas who are part of the organization, they are very crucial part, and highly skilled people with appropriate experience, talent, and training are the main. They play key role in the organization. Follow with care. Follow with care. Everybody is doing something but does not make it right for you. It may be right, but you must carefully assess its capability, its applicability to your environment. So you don't have to be adamant in the environment, in the working environment. Be ready for those kind of stuff also. Maybe you're working with some 3 4 team members, even if in college also, in your BTech also, if you have, if suppose I am making some team randomly, selecting some students from your class, okay, and I tell you to develop some project, but then I start getting complaints that I'm not comfortable with this person, I'm not comfortable with this person, I just want to work with this person. In college you can do this, but when you will go to your job environment you can't do that. Okay, so that kind of situation can happen. Then take responsibility. So take responsibility. Whatever you are doing, you have to be responsible for that. You have to understand all the things that is happening um, with the stuff that you are working. Understand the customer's priority. You have This is the very crucial point in the organization that generally they have to follow. That customer is God. Um, if you are publicly dealing, yes, so customer is god. You have to prioritize the requirements that customer wants on the first place. You have to work on those things first. More they see, more they need. So that means more you deliver early some prototypes, some functional things, more they will require. That means they will be ready for that, and that will increase the trust on the organization, trust on the team for the stakeholders. Realize that software's entropy increases. So that means we are talking about software's entropy, um, the things that you are working upon. You can be a developer, you can be a tester, and you can be the designer. So overall software's entropy should increase, and you have to realize that how it is increasing, how it is making changes, whatever things you are doing. If some requirements are coming up in between and you have to make changes in the softwares, then whether your software is that much flexible or not, whether that coding part is that much flexible or not, you have to see that. So any software system, if lot of changes are coming up for the software entropy, I'm telling you, if lot of changes are coming up, then the scenario can become like this. The complexity has reached to the threshold, or complexity is too much. So for those kind of scenario, you have to take action accordingly. If you start feeling like at this point of time ki yes, this situation is becoming really, it will become difficult to handle on later stage, then you have to resolve those things on earlier basis. That's why this realization is important at the current. People and time are not interchangeable. Very simple, measuring a project solely by person months makes little sense. Just by checking up the estimated budget, estimated time is not enough. You have to see that what are the other factors. Okay, so person months is not the only way to check up the estimation of the software. There should be some another parameters. So that is your, I think that that much will be enough for the conventional software engineering. Now we will see some of the principles of modern software engineering. Yes, so modern software engineering principles, basically when we are talking about modern practices, the latest techniques, latest tools that are coming up in the scenario, and simply we have discussed this thing earlier also while discussing waterfall model, iterative approach. That means there are differences in the methodologies that came up on the latest stages of the era, and things have been taken a great transition with time. After after 2000, the things have really started to change on in terms of technology and innovation. Okay. Base the process on an architecture. That means you have to improvise, or you have to work accordingly. You have to make changes in the process on the basis of on an architecture. You have to utilize the latest tools that is not solely dependent on the estimated budget, estimated time, but also the process should be based on the things, that when will you deliver the final project, how many skillful people are there in the organization who are working on this particular. So base your process on that thing. So that is your central design element that you're you have to do. Okay, one architecture should be the process model. You can relate this thing with the process model that we have discussed earlier. So according to this, during this first principle relates to the that you have to design it, you have to um, integrate some parts, you have to show at what you are doing, and then go with the production and testing. Establish an iterative life cycle process. So why only life cycle process as iterative should be there? That means you have to manage the risk. You have to keep that risk element into your mind. That's why iterative life processes are very much efficient in that purpose. A spiral model is the best example for that one. Risk assessment is separate phase in spiral model. Okay. So risk control over your performance, over quality, over functions can help a lot. And with today's sophisticated systems, it is not possible to define the entire problem, design an entire solution at one go. So in those kind of things, iterative process that refines the problem understanding, it provides you efficient solution, effective plan over several iteration. It encourages balanced treatment of all objectives that we have to achieve. Next, transition design methods to emphasize component based development. So it is nothing but a technology element. Moving from lines of code mentally to component based mentally is necessary to reduce the amount of human generated source and custom development. That means the different types of templates, um, if you can utilize to develop the things in a less time, that it is talking about. So component based development means you can relate this thing with your WordPress, Joomla, where now website creation becomes really easy. You just have to select the templates, you just have to put the things, and your blog will be ready, your website will be ready. You can relate this thing with that. So in spite of coding, we are moving to the component based development. We are utilizing the components. So that transition it is talking about. Next one, establish a change management environment. So change management environment, it is control element. That means we are talking about metrics, trends, process implementation, and the dynamics of iterative development, including your workflows by different teams working on the um, coding, designing, templates, those things. So that change management, if some changes are coming, that kind of environment should be feasible, flexible for the people. Enhance change freedom through tools that support round trip engineering. So this one is about like your automation element, you can say, and the complementary tools, integrated environment, round trip engineering is the environment support which is necessary to automate and synchronize engineering information different topics. Basically you have to apply those kind of engineering tools, you have to support that kind of round trip engineering in the changes can become easy. Change freedom should be there, that flexibility is there. Use a demonstration. So demonstration means you have to utilize that kind of environment where you are demonstrating um, what is going on, transitioning from whether the coding, designing templates in an early deliver or prototype, you can say, a baseline architecture, beta capability of executable demonstrations. So that kind of stuff should be given. You can relate it with your prototypes. That before releasing complete software or the product, you are providing to your customer a functional prototype or a functional executable program or executable part of the complete project. Okay. Plan intermediate release in groups of usage scenarios with evolving levels of detail. So these last 2 points that only I will take up today, then I will wind up the session. So plan intermediate release, it is very easy to understand for user scenarios with evolving levels of details. That means right now you have given something to your customer, intermediate release, in between you have released some part of it, and you are giving that what will be the next evolving levels in between. What will be your next step? Establish a configurable process that economically scalable. So here the meaning is not only a single process is suitable for all software developments. That means a single process is not enough for the complete software development. The process must ensure that there is economy of scale and the return on investment profit should be there. And so economically it is talking about, that means we are talking about the benefits. So I think that is enough for this one. Modern practices. Actually, there are one, three, four, five, six, seven, eight are given over here. There are total 10 principles, but if you can remember five, six also, that will be enough for you. Don't go for cramming. Next, this part is just showing the review the first top five principles of modern practices. So it is just showing from waterfall process to iterative process, the transition, and there are these are the five principles of the modern process that is being shown over here in this diagram. So nothing new thing is there. It is same thing, only architecture first approach, iterative life cycle process should be there, same points that we have just discussed. Component based development should be there. It is technology and element that I just told you. This one is a change management, means it is control element. Round trip engineering is automation element. So it is just showing you a summary of the things that we have just discussed. You can, it depends on you how you are presenting your answer in the exam. That depends on you. If you want to show in the way of waterfall process, iterative process, in spite of conventional and modern practices, you can also show like that. It is showing the phases of waterfall, it is showing the phases of spiral model. Fine. So that's it from my side for this session, and I will not take it for